Last weekend, I scripted 30 finance videos. Not outlines, not bullet points, full 12 to 14-minute scripts with hooks, disclaimers, retention patterns, and CTAs baked in. 30 of them in 48 hours. And if you're a finance creator still doing this manually, I need to show you exactly what you're leaving on the table. Quick disclaimer before we get into this. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is financial advice. This is purely about content creation workflow. Do your own research before acting on anything financial. Now, who am I to talk about this? I'm not a guru. I'm not selling you a $997 course. I've personally used Claude to produce scripts for finance channels covering everything from index funds to side hustle income, and I've tracked what works, what gets flagged, and what tanks. My most recent finance video, scripted with this exact system, hit 11% CTR in its first week. I'm going to show you the entire workflow, no fluff. Before I show you the actual system, I want to plant something in your brain. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the single most important prompt in my entire stack, the one that took me 3 months to get right and that I now use as the foundation for every script I produce. It's not what you think it is, and it's probably not what most people teaching AI for YouTube are showing you. But first, let's talk about why most finance creators are using Claude completely wrong. Here's what the average finance creator does. They open Claude, they type something like, "Write me a YouTube script about dividend investing," and Claude produces something. It kind of looks like a script. It has paragraphs, it has a beginning and an end, and it is completely, entirely unusable. It's generic. It sounds like Wikipedia narrated by a robot. It has zero hook structure. The disclaimer is either missing or it's 3 paragraphs long and will kill your retention. And if you submit that to a finance channel, you're one algorithm flag away from demonetization. That's not Claude's fault. That's a prompt architecture problem. And that's what we're fixing today. Here's what I want you to hold in your head for the next 10 minutes. The difference between a bad finance script and a 30-video sprint that produces monetizable, retention-engineered content isn't talent. It's infrastructure. Reusable prompt infrastructure. And I built mine in about 6 hours of iteration, so you don't have to. We're going to cover 3 things. First, the master prompt system that makes Claude understand your channel before it writes a single word. Second, the YMYL safety layer that keeps you monetized on finance content specifically. Third, the weekend sprint workflow I use to produce 30 scripts without burning out or producing 30 versions of the same video. Let's go. The first reason most people get garbage out of Claude is that they treat every conversation like a fresh interaction. They explain their channel from scratch every single time, or they don't explain it at all. The fix is something I call the master prompt. It's a single reusable block of text, about 400 to 600 words, that you paste at the top of every single Claude session before you request a script. Think of it as an onboarding document for your AI co-writer. Your master prompt has 5 components. I'll walk through each one. Component 1, channel identity. You tell Claude your channel name, your niche, your audience's sophistication level, and your host persona. Not finance channel for beginners. Specific. Something like, this channel teaches 25 to 40-year-old professionals how to build passive income through index funds, real estate crowdfunding, and side business income. The viewer earns $80,000 to $150,000, is comfortable with data, and hates being talked down to. Claude calibrates its entire vocabulary, its example selection, its complexity level, based on this paragraph. Component 2, tone of voice. Give it 3 to 5 specific reference points. Something like, write like a cross between Andre Jick's data-first calm delivery and Mark Tilbury's storytelling opening style. No motivational poster language. No crush it. Specific numbers beat vague adjectives every time. If you've watched Andre Jick, you know exactly what that means. It's that measured, evidence-led approach where the hook is a data point, not hype. Tilbury opens with a story that doesn't feel like a script at all. Give Claude those reference anchors. Component 3, script structure. Paste in your exact structural template. hook timing, section lengths, pattern interrupt rules, open loop requirements. If you don't have one, I have a starter template in the prompt pack linked in the description. Component 4, YMYL safety rules. I'll cover this in depth in the next section, but your master prompt needs to contain your disclaimer language, your hedging rules, and your source attribution requirements. This is not optional for finance content. It is the difference between monetized and flagged. Component 5, output format. Tell Claude exactly what you want back. Titles, hook, full script, description, tags, thumbnail concepts. Specify it once in the master prompt, and you'll never have to ask for it piece by piece again. Now here's the thing most creators skip. The master prompt isn't static. In my first weekend sprint, I refined mine 4 times across the 30 scripts. By script 8, I had identified 3 patterns that Claude kept defaulting to: a certain opener structure, overuse of the word essentially, and a tendency to bury the disclaimer too deep in the video. I fixed each one in the master prompt, and the quality jump was immediate. The master prompt is a living document. It improves every time you use it. But here's the thing most AI for YouTube content won't tell you. Claude producing a good script and Claude producing a monetizable finance script are 2 completely different problems. Finance content is YMYL, your money or your life. YouTube treats it as higher risk than almost any other category, and their review systems, both algorithmic and human, are specifically trained to flag scripts that make forward-looking financial claims without appropriate hedging. I've had scripts flagged. It's not fun. And in every case, the problem was a single sentence where Claude got too confident. This strategy will grow your portfolio. Dividend stocks are the safest way to build wealth. Statements like that, even in an otherwise cautious script, can trigger a review. So in my master prompt, I have an explicit YMYL safety layer. Here's what it covers. First, mandatory disclaimer placement. Every script must include the disclaimer within the first 60 seconds. Not at the end, not in the description alone, in the first 60 seconds. I give Claude the exact language. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes. Do your own research before acting on anything. 1 sentence. Natural. Done. Second, a substitution list. I give Claude 6 specific phrase replacements it must use. You will make money becomes you could make money. Guaranteed return becomes potential return or reported return. Risk-free becomes lower risk, because almost nothing is actually risk-free. The best investment becomes one of the better performing options historically. I paste this substitution list directly into the master prompt, and Claude applies it automatically. Third, source attribution rules. Any statistic in the script needs either a real attribution, according to Bloomberg 2024, S&P data shows, or a hedge, data often cited suggests, many analysts report. Claude hallucinates sources if you let it. So I tell it, if you can't attribute it accurately, hedge it instead of inventing a citation. Fourth, and this one trips up a lot of channels, no specific buy/sell recommendations on individual securities. You can discuss ETF categories. You can discuss strategies. You can say, index fund investing has historically outperformed active management in 92% of 15-year windows, according to S&P SPIVA data. What you cannot do is say, buy $VOO this week, or name a specific crypto token as an opportunity. What most people miss here is that this constraint actually makes your content better. When you can't name a specific stock, you're forced to explain the principle. Principle-based content has longer shelf life, serves a wider audience, and ages better in search. The YMYL rules aren't just a compliance layer, they're a content quality filter. After I built this layer into my master prompt, my script started coming back cleaner on the first pass. Fewer manual rewrites, fewer flagging risks, and the content was sharper because Claude couldn't hide behind a ticker symbol. Okay, I promised you the single most important prompt in my stack. This is it. I call it the topic cascade prompt. And it's not the script prompt. Most people obsess over the script prompt, the one that actually produces the script. But the script prompt only works as well as what you feed into it. The topic cascade prompt is what you run before any scripting begins, and it does something most creators have never thought to systematize. Here's how it works. You paste in your niche, your target audience parameters, and 3 to 5 videos that have already performed well on your channel or in your space. Then you ask Claude to generate 30 video topics, not titles, not scripts, topics, but with a specific constraint. Every topic must meet 4 criteria. 1. It has a clear contrarian angle. Not how to invest in index funds, but why index funds underperform in the 5 years most people start investing. 2. It has a specific attributable data point that can anchor the hook. 3. It fits within your YMYL safety rules. Educational, principle-based, no individual securities. 4. It either answers a question that search traffic confirms exists, or it creates a curiosity gap that thumbnail plus title can close. In my weekend sprint, I ran this prompt once. It produced 38 topics. I culled 8. I had 30 viable topics with built-in hook angles, data anchors, and safety compliance before I wrote a single script. That's the unlock most people never find. They start at the script layer. I start at the topic architecture layer. Once your 30 topics exist, each script prompt takes Claude roughly 4 to 7 minutes to generate, depending on length. At 12 to 14 minutes per script, I was producing 8 to 10 scripts per session across a weekend with 2 focused sessions per day. That's how 30 happens. Now, does every script come back perfect? No. On average, each one needed about 12 minutes of review and light editing. Some needed a single line swapped. A few needed a section reworked. None needed to be scrapped. That's a function of the master prompt doing its job upstream. By Sunday evening, I had a month of finance content in a folder. 30 scripts, each one with a hook optimized for retention, a YMYL compliant disclaimer, hedged language throughout, sourced statistics, and a CTA. Total weekend time, including the topic cascade, scripting sessions, and editing, approximately 14 hours. Compare that to the old workflow. One script, researched and written manually, used to take me 4 to 6 hours. 30 scripts the old way, 120 to 180 hours. The math isn't subtle. One thing I want to be honest about, the first weekend I tried this, before I had the master prompt dialed in, it didn't work like this. I got 8 usable scripts out of 30 attempts. The other 22 needed major rewrites. The infrastructure matters. The prompt architecture matters. Getting it right takes 1 bad weekend and 1 good one. The 30 prompt starter pack in the description is designed to shortcut that. It includes the master prompt template, the topic cascade prompt, the YMYL safety layer copy-paste block, and 5 bonus prompts I use for thumbnails, titles, and repurposing long-form scripts into shorts. The starter pack is free. There will eventually be a paid version with the full workflow at $27. But the starter pack is the foundation, and it's yours right now. Let's close the loop. 3 things you got today. 1. The Master Prompt System, a reusable 500-word setup document that tells Claude your channel identity, your tone, your structure, and your output requirements before a single script is written. Set it once, use it forever, refine it every 10 scripts. 2. The YMYL safety layer, mandatory disclaimer placement, a specific hedging substitution list, source attribution rules, and the no individual securities constraint that paradoxically makes your content better, not just safer. 3. The weekend sprint workflow, starting with the topic cascade prompt, not the script prompt. Generate 30 topic architectures first, then script. That sequence is what made 30 scripts in 48 hours possible and repeatable. The 30 prompt starter pack is linked in the description. It's free. It has the master prompt template, the topic cascade prompt, the YMYL block, and 5 additional prompts I use weekly. Download it, run the topic cascade on your niche today, and you'll have 30 video topics before you go to bed. If this changed how you think about your scripting workflow, subscribe. I drop new Claude workflow videos every Tuesday and Friday, and next Friday's video is going to cover something a little different. How I used Claude to analyze 847 top-performing finance videos and extract the 6 hook patterns that account for 80% of the viral moments. That one's going to be dense. You'll want to be here for it.